Hello, everybody. This is the Old Bear for the Old Bear's Den of Bigfoot. Tonight, you get to see me. People have been asking, well, this is me. Anyway, tonight we have a story coming from Oregon. A gentleman that goes by the Wallowa Sasquatch Association on YouTube. I would like for y'all to go over and take a look at the evidence that the man has. And if you can, subscribe to his channel. That way he can do live feeds and stuff like that. Anyway, his story was given to me and the other researcher that I have with me. And we were driving somewhere and we gave him a call and talked to him on the phone. And his story starts out in the Payette River. And he was working with his brother-in-law doing some roofing. Well, anyway, he was doing roofing and he got burned up pretty good. Car's pretty hot, and being around it a long time on a hot roof makes it takes a toll on you. Well, anyway, it burned his skin up, and his brother-in-law gave him a couple weeks off. So he decided to go up to the Payette River, a place he knows well. He likes going up there and going fishing, and he has fun when he's up there. Anyway, he went without his wife the first day. While he was up there the first day, he had such a good time, he decided he's going to stay up there for a week or so. And he went back home, and he then was informed by his better half that her nephew wanted to go. Well, I don't know if it was reluctant or not, or if he just knew the better part of valor just to shut up and do what she asked, but he took the nephew. Well, him and the nephew went up there that day, on the second day. They got back here that afternoon, they did a little fishing, got everything squared away for the nephew, and I'm burning up over here, guys. They're trying to kill me. Anyway, the second day, they got everything squared away, done a little fishing, got dinner, had a good dinner. But throughout that day and that evening, they kept hearing deer running over. Deer running over the river, across the river. They were crossing the river, and they heard deer all night long, and then the second day, him and the uncle and the nephew were together. They were down at the river, and they separated. And when they separated on the river, the uncle went upstream to see where all the deer and stuff were coming across. And while he was up there, right after he left that area, he seen all the deer tracks and the deepness that they'd crossed. There'd been quite a few deer and elk come across. And he went back down the stream to get with his nephew. And when he got back down to his nephew, he heard a big log get thrown into the river up there where the deer crossed. Well, that log come floating down the river past them. They saw it. And they said it was a pretty big log to be thrown in. And anyway, they caught their fish, and they decided to go back up and eat. And they sat around camp the rest of the day and did what you normally do around camp when you're out camping and fishing. And, just talking, and the uncle was talking to the nephew, and they were discussing things, guy things, pretty much. Uncle's giving advice to nephews. I've got a few of them, so I give advice to them too. Anyway, as they were giving advice to them, and they'd eat dinner, they were just sitting there watching the fire burn, pretty much like the one that's in front of you. That's smoking me out almost. Anyway, the uncle was sitting there and the nephew was sitting there, and it got dark, and they were just sitting there. And the nephew said, "Hey, uncle, there's something over there by them trees. Now, it's dark. Well, his uncle, which is Wallowa, Sasquatch Association, stood up, took his camera, took not a camera, sorry, I misspoke, a flashlight that he had, and turned the flashlight on. Well, he hit this Bigfoot right in the face. It was standing there beside some trees. And he saw the eye shine at blinking, and he saw part of the body form and everything. And then this thing stepped out. Well, when it stepped out, he got a full frontal view of this thing. And his nephew's trying to peek around the fire. He can't see anything because the fire's got him blinded. And the uncle's right above him. And what happened was, the nephew got his attention, and he turned and looked at his nephew and told him, said, "Don't move. That thing is standing there." And when he looked back, the Bigfoot was gone. Well, anyway, the next day he went down and looked for, the uncle pretty much stayed up all night, let his nephew get some sleep. Sorry, guys. The smoke's getting me. Got to move a little bit. Anyway, he was sitting there. He sat up all night because he's let his nephew sleep. His nephew got up next morning. He grabbed a couple hours of sleep, and he went down there and looked where the Bigfoot was standing. He found footprints. And he found the footprints and found where they went down the river. He didn't have a camera or anything like that. This was his first sighting. This is what got him started. And he still goes up in that area looking for Bigfoot. He hears them scream. He hears them grunt and growl and everything else from across the river. Evidently, they stay on their side and he stays on his side. He wants to go on the other side this summer. And the only advice I can give him is, don't go alone and make sure you're both armed. I know California don't have very good gun laws. They're pretty lousy. Or not California, but Washington. And I would suggest do whatever you got to do to protect yourself. I know you can't go with one of these. This is what I carry. I carry a 40 on my hip when I'm in the woods looking for Bigfoot. Even when I'm out bow hunting or rifle hunting, I always have my rifle plus something on my hip, because you never know. Anyway, we're out here again tonight, and if we get anything while we're out here, we'll let you in on it. We'll have the camera lady over there take care of the pictures and the video. If we get any evidence, we'll let you know. I thank you all for coming and listening, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'm not going to tell you subscribe. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to inform you. No matter what anybody tells you, I'm here to inform you that Bigfoot will kill you, and it will harm you in so many different ways. It's not only a mental thing when you see one. I've been dealing with this for 34 years. So, wanting to see one is a stupid thing to me. I don't see any reason to see them. And all they are is just a big hairy creature that has a brain, knows how to use it, and can outsmart you in the woods because they know the woods better than you. I don't care how many years you've been in that woods, they can outsmart you. They're pretty smart. So, this is going to end the video. And one other thing, if the sight of a gun, a tool, upsets you, unsubscribe from the channel. Don't come back.